What's going on, everybody? This is Hocus and welcome back to another episode in the Minecraft LP series. I hope you're having a great day. This is number 39, I want to say. So ever so quickly approaching that 40 mark now, and it should be out next week. I'm trying to get back into the rhythm, guys, because I fell out of rhythm a little bit with the 2 videos per week upload schedule that I was following for a while before Christmas. I'm trying to fit back into that because I think that 2 videos a week is definitely achievable, regardless of, you know, my busy schedule and the other things I do in my life. So I'm trying to fit back into that smoothly. But besides that and everything else I've said so far, I hope you're having a great day, an awesome week, and I hope that you're ready for some more single player survival action here in our LP world. Now, I don't know if you were here for the last episode, but if not, that is the reason why I am stood in this vantage point in the moment. So here you can see the hive. That's a build from a while ago that I explained it in the last episode. I'm kind of lazy to continue with it. It's a bit of a strange one, but we'll forget about it for now. Anyway, slightly to the right, we've got our new tree farm, which is what I was building in the last episode. And then for reference, behind us here is the iron farm. And then just down there somewhere is going to be the Arboretum of Gratitude. So let's head back over to the tree farm and give it a run through for, like I say, those of you who haven't seen it in action just yet. And for a little bit of a closer look, this is what we've got going on. So first step here is to plant the trees. They have to go in each and every single one of these dirt spots here. Following the planting of the saplings, you'll want to force the trees to grow using bone meal, or just allow them to grow naturally. But, you know, if you're in desperate need for wood, you're probably better off using a bit of that bone meal. Now, most of the saplings, fortunately, are bone mealable from this block here, aside from these ones right on the inside. But we're going to take care of that problem at some point today, so don't worry too much about that issue. Okay, so with all the trees grown, you'll want to come inside the farm, and it's best to do this whilst crawling. So I'm in this, this position right now. It's kind of awkward, but it's the best way to do it. And you'll just want to clear all of the leaf blocks in the center of the farm. Preferably not full down here, but it's kind of a good place to view what's going on. So that dispenser up there is going to drop TNT. We need that TNT to fall directly down onto the obsidian block in the center here. So that's why we have to clear those leaves out. So I'm going to do that for the other 2 units that we've got here. One final check before you use the farm, following the clearing of the leaves. You'll want to make sure that each dispenser is loaded with some TNT, or just have it preloaded. It's up to you. But right now, since this farm is kind of still in the construction / testing phase, I'm just leaving these dispensers empty to avoid any mistakes. And then right now you're good to go, guys. So as Anakin would say, this is where the fun begins. Just take a straight run across the top of the farm, making sure that you step on each pressure plate. You can hear the TNT sizzle and exploding and clearing out all of that wood. So the final step, once you've cleared out all of the wood with the TNT, is to kind of just walk back through the farm. So there will be some logs remaining. You can just clear those up very simply. And with all of the logs cleared, the leaves will begin to despawn. You can see that happening before your eyes right now, which is very interesting, right? And that means that saplings, apples, and sticks are going to start dropping into the farm. So that's why we've got the water collection system here. That is going to collect up anything that we've missed that has fallen beneath the farm. So what we can do is make our way over to this end right here. And I haven't figured out a better method for this just yet. But like I say, we're going to make some improvements to this farm in this episode. And here we have got the remainder of the items that we were unable to collect first time round. We can replace the chain right there. And essentially, if you didn't understand, what the chain is doing is blocking this water from flowing into the middle so that all of the items can fall into a separate water stream. And I found that on average, you get, I don't know, approximately 3 stacks of wood from this farm when using it. So you can see once again here, we've got 2 stacks and 58. And you can clearly see, guys, that just by fooling around with this farm for a little bit, we're able to get a lot of wood. So this is from last episode's testing, and then I ran the farm a couple times off camera, and then once more just then with you guys, and we've already collected up so many stacks of oak, which is a wood type that, like I explained in the last episode, I've been running a little bit short on. So that was kind of the feeling and the thought behind this farm, was just to make an easier way for us to collect oak wood. But I guess this would also work for birch trees as well. So if we ever need birch, we can just plant some birch in here and use the same technique. So I alluded to this last episode, and I guess I've done it a couple more times so far in this episode, but today we're going to work on adding some quality of life improvements to the farm just to make it a little bit easier to use and a little bit more efficient. So the first one, I went ahead and grabbed a bunch of iron from the iron farm. Again, I've recently cleared that out, and we have got just so much iron and not a lot to use it on. But I guess that's not a bad problem to have, is it really? So we're going to begin with some chests, and we are going to use those chests to create some hoppers. So I filled in the central area of the collection system because I think that that was a little bit unnecessary. And I mentioned in the last episode as well, I didn't really like how we had to go down by layers and it ended up super deep. So what we're going to do instead, since we don't need an ultra efficient collection system? Yeah. Okay, can't get my words out. Collection system. We don't need it to be ultra efficient, so we're just going to use some hoppers to transport the items throughout the farm. And you know what? Like I say, we've got a bunch of iron. I'm not really using it for anything at the moment, so we may as well make something out of it. And have we got enough? Oh no, we're one shy. Awesome. Okay, I'll get that filled in, and then we can think about a few other things. But I've got some ideas in mind, and I also probably want to take care of the design of this farm as well, because right now it looks rather ugly. So I'm sure we can do something interesting with that. Just peacefully crafting some hoppers, and these guys decided to show up. Not very happy about that, but let's go back in together and fill this guy in. So now the central collection system is complete. I'm thinking for this build, I want to incorporate either green terracotta or green concrete. So what better thing to do than come over to our newly constructed cactus farm and see how things are looking. So this should be the center here. Oh wow. Okay, all right, yep, I love to see this. Oh nice. So we've got what here? We've got 3, 6, 9 and a half stacks of cactus. Wow, that is not bad, because I don't spend an awful amount of time here, and this farm wouldn't run unless I was in the area, so I can't really complain about that. And that kind of confirms my my theory that we wouldn't really have to extend this farm at all for it to produce results. I mean, we always can, but it wouldn't be that that desperate at the moment. Also, I came here off camera recently and almost finished up the pyramid. So what we're missing right now is, I think, just a few gold blocks. So we need to put some gold blocks in behind the fences here, and we need some in the corner. But aside from that, we have finished everything up. But there is something else I want to add to this pyramid eventually. We won't talk about it too much today because this isn't the topic of this episode. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up whilst we were in the area. Almost complete, and the cactus farm is running as it should be. The cactus is a cooking. Okay then, guys. So I was able to combine some of the green dye that I've just brewed up with some of the spare terracotta from the Hive project in order to get some green terracotta. Now, I think I prefer the terracotta texture over the concrete, so we're going to stick with that. And the first thing I'm going to use it for is to create a ring around the farm itself, I think, just as kind of like a little trim. So not only did we go with the green terracotta, I actually lined it with carpet as well, because I really liked how that turned out over at the Hive with the yellow terracotta and the yellow carpet. So I'm going to try again here and just see if we can get some similar results. Now, I'm placing down some trapdoors very strategically, and I'll explain those in just a second once we've placed the final one here. There we go. So I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier in the video I explained that any of the saplings that sit on these blocks here cannot be bone mealed from the edge of the farm. So I've placed these trapdoors in so that we've got an extension of the walkway, and that will allow us to reach the sapling with the bone meal. So I've got one on each of the blocks that will be out of reach. Now I just need to decide whether or not we're going to do something else, which is to have a lever on top of each one. So if we take out the carpet here and place a lever, it will just give us a little bit of an easier... Oh, I was wondering for a second what was going on there, but I guess the switch needs to be reset before opening it up. But this might give us a little bit more easy access to the trapdoor, because without the lever you kind of have a little bit of a space to click. So just this, and it will slow us down, I guess, by a few seconds. But with the lever, there's a lot larger area for you to click, and you can get it opened up before you make your way out, and then close it back off again once you leave. So I don't know whether or not we're going to add the levers. They kind of look a bit strange, I think, if we were to have one on each of the trapdoors. But I'll make the decision off camera and just finish up and let you guys know what I decide to go with. I decided to go with the levers in the end. Now, it doesn't look the greatest, I'm aware, but it gives me those technical vibes, right? Which is what I dream to be, a technical Minecraft player, you know. This is pretty technical, right? Oh my gosh. Look at it. Technical as it gets. Anyway, that is besides the point. What we're going to do now is create a way for us to get up to the top of the farm without flying every time, so that we don't have to waste rockets, which isn't that big a deal, but I still think it'll be cool to do it. So 1, 2, 3, and then right here is where we're going to start building the elevator. So what we'll have is a design that looks something like this. So it'll, chest is in the way, darn it. Right, where were we? So 4 terracotta in the corner like so, and then we'll probably go with, for now, we'll go with terracotta right here also. In this slot here, we will have a piece of soul sand, because this is going to be one of those simple water elevators. It's going to push us up to the top of the farm, and we'll just continue with the terracotta on the corners. In the middle, I'm going to go with some black glass. Now, you might be wondering where that fits into the palette. Well, I think that's a close enough color to the obsidian, which is kind of like a black and a purple blend, just to give a few more hints of that dark color. And then right here, we'll just have a simple door, which I will probably craft, if I'm totally honest, out of oak again. Trying to fit that oak theme in here, since this is mostly going to be an oak farm. So let's go ahead and craft one of those guys. And we'll stick that in here like so. So there's a little door to prevent the water from flowing out. Now, I'm going to get this finished up off camera, most likely. So here we go. Okay, upwards access is complete. Nice and simple. So you probably would have guessed that based on the magma block in my inventory, we're going to make an elevator on the far side that brings us down also. So again, we'll give ourselves a 3-block gap and build something that looks exactly the same. The downside elevator is complete, and oh, where the hell did that witch come from and then disappear to so quickly? I have no idea, but we won't worry about that too much. Anyway, I removed the water from the farm because it's time to start thinking of a design that's going to go on the inside of this thing. And I figured, why not try to use the item that we will be producing in the farm? Hello, Skelly. So I think what we'll do is we'll go with some logs underneath the trapdoors, just as kind of a break in the pattern. And I'm going to make this very simple. So we will strip these guys. And then I'm thinking on the inside of this. Uh-oh, there's Skelly again. We are going to... Here, come here, dude. You don't need to be involved. All right. There we go. He's taken care of. And then on the inside of the logs, we're going to go with maybe some planks. Now, we'll just fill this in entirely with planks and see what that looks like. That's very simple, isn't it? We might need to break this up slightly with something else, but I will think about that as I build here. You know what, guys? Actually, I've changed my mind. I think that this will be okay, and I don't need to include anything else to break up the textures. Now, I decided that for the floor here, we're going to just go with some gravel. Gravel always looks quite good in systems like this, where, you know, you're just transporting items over the top of it. It's a pretty easy on the eye texture, and I would say it just about fits the theme because of what we've got running through the middle here. And then I'm half tempted to change the chains to trap doors, oak trap doors, but haven't decided fully on that yet, because I think that actually this texture here might be a nice contrast just to keep things a little bit different down below. So let's continue with the gravel on this side by first removing some more dirt. Awesome, so water is back in place, and I am pretty happy with how the collection system works, so we're going to leave it as it is, no more changes, and the chains are going to remain also. So I'm thinking that next up, we probably want to make a decision about what we're going to do with the walkway here, because it is not going to remain stone brick, I know that much. Now I'm thinking we could just use the green terracotta, but that also might be a little bit too over the top with the terracotta. I don't really know, it's hard to say, right? Because well, actually, you know what? It's not... Yes, it is... I don't know where I'm going with this. It is hard to say, but I think the best thing to do would be to just build and see what the final product looks like. So I'm just going to replace most of this with, oops, the green terracotta, and we'll see what the outcome is. Yeah, this might work. We'll give it a go. You know what? That is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I quite like the green. I do want to change these gray textures on the underside though, and we'll get around to that in just a second. But before I do that, I was thinking that we could maybe mix things up even further by doing something like this. And I'm, again, not really sure how this is going to turn out. So it's more of a test at the moment, an experiment. But what I was going to do is, in the transition blocks, the blocks between the structures, I was going to remove them and put some oak slabs in. So I've been trying to use the oak to sort of fit the theme of the product that is being produced here, like I say. And, right, again, this could just look terrible. Might be the wrong choice, but you gotta try these things, right? And I feel like this will add a little bit of depth as well, because you're getting the half slabs in there instead of just this bulky, blocky structure that we've got at the moment. Now, let's see what this is looking like. Okay. Okay. It's not terrible, but also not amazing, is it? We'll stick it out for a second. Now let's deal with the gray textures that we've got on the underside here. So for those, I'm going to do this. And again, this is going to be a test. I don't know if this is going to work, but what I want to do is get rid of them. And then instead of using blocks to center the TNT, I want to try using trapdoors. Now I'm hoping that these trapdoors will have the same effect as the blocks without being a full block. And again, this will just add that depth. It fits the theme a little bit better, doesn't look as bulky, but we will need to give it a test run just to ensure that it will be good enough to keep that TNT on the straight and narrow, because we don't want it falling anywhere other than this block right here. I'm going to stop progressing for a moment with the farm, and I'm just going to give it a test run, because like I say, I'm not entirely sure if these trapdoors up here are going to keep the TNT centered. So I do need to check that before we go any further. But just thought I'd make a note as well that these trapdoors that we put on the side are pretty useful. I'm liking them so far, and I think they were a good addition, but still unsure whether or not the lever is a necessity. Either way, though, it looks cool. All right, here we go then, dress rehearsal. Let's take the risk and see what happens. I was only going to do one cell at a time, but I'm just going to go for it. Who cares? If it blows up, it blows up. I'll fix it. All right, I hear explosions. And... uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I regret saying if it blows up, I'll fix it, because I'm a little bit frustrated. But I guess the trapdoor method isn't going to work. That's okay, though. It was worth a go. Okay, so we're going to try something else, and I don't know if you can see it very clearly, but instead of the trapdoors, I've replaced them with half slabs. Half slabs? Again, that was just a difficult one to get out of my mouth. Weird. Anyway, what do we need here? One piece of TNT, and I'm going to just do one cell this time so that we don't risk blowing the whole farm up. We'll just pop it right in there, and we'll run right across. Stop here. And it looks as if it worked. Nope. That is incorrect. It did not work. Okay, so I guess that means then we need a full block up there. It didn't do too much damage, fortunately, so there isn't a lot to repair, but alright, whatever. I was hoping that we wouldn't have to do that, but that is okay. I might surround it with stairs instead, so that we've got some interesting depth going on up there, just to make things a little bit, like I say, a little bit more interesting. I've got some good news and some bad news, guys. So we'll begin with the bad news. I'm an idiot. Yep, that's right. So, well, the good news also, I guess, first, for some context, the trapdoors do, in fact, work. The reason why I'm an idiot is because when I tested them, I didn't even clear the leaves in the middle. So now you can see that the trapdoors do actually guide the TNT into place. Yeah, boom. And if we were to head down into the farm, it has taken effect exactly how it should. So we can stick with the trapdoors, thankfully, because I did like the way they looked. And I just need to concentrate in the future, I guess. That might be a good idea. Okay then, guys, so we're pretty much done here with the quality of life improvements, but there was one more thing I wanted to explore whilst we are working on this building in the area. So it's probably about time we began making some paths in our world so that we can connect some of our builds. And I've been looking back at our original LP world, which is, of course, long in the distant memory now, but that's okay. We can take inspiration from it still. And there was a path design that I used in that world that I really enjoyed, and we're going to try and replicate that here in this world also. So we've got some coarse dirt, some gravel. There's going to be podzol involved, and there will also be path blocks. We do need a little bit more podzol though, and that is exactly why I am doing what I'm about to do. And that is to grow one of these 2x2 spruce trees. So what they do is they also produce podzol that we can grab and replace with regular dirt so that we can improve our stocks a little. And then I'm going to just try and lay down some paths so that we can get a feel for what we want to do going forward in the world. So this will be the general idea for the paths. I've got that combination of 5 textures that I mentioned. So we've got podzol, we've got gravel, coarse dirt, path blocks, and then finally some spruce. And then if there's ever a position that we're in where we need to transition up blocks, we will just use spruce half slabs to do so. And I think that will work well. So the final thing I want to add here is a pressure plate in front of the doors either end of the farm so that we don't have to be constantly opening them and closing them. I think that'll work especially well here because it's kind of hard once you step in to close the door. So with the pressure plate, it should close automatically, and so it has. So I've left this side empty for now just because we do need a little bit of work here. So I figured I'd just demonstrate on the sides that are complete, and that will be it, guys. We're kind of just going to take it forward from here with the paths, maybe connect up to the hive with a bridge at some point. That would be quite cool. And, you know, the paths don't always have to follow this pattern because, and let me once again demonstrate over here, we will have pathways that are utilizing white textures, but we can, you know, transition them however we see fit to join them up. And I think overall, it'll just be pretty cool to have all of these pathways running throughout our world so that we can walk around instead of flying all the time. And that's pretty much it. They don't do too much else, do they, really? They kind of just add to the looks and add to the world. Anyway, guys, that is going to be all for this episode of the Minecraft LP series. I hope you had fun once again with this video. If you did, please be sure to drop a like down below. That would be much appreciated. Any questions, suggestions, comments, or feedback should go down in the comments section below. And finally, if you are new here, then first of all, welcome. My name is Hocus. I hope you enjoyed your stay on the channel today. If you did, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned to this series. I've also got the Ramblecraft SMP series going on at the moment. It seems to be pretty popular, so if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to go check that out also, if you're into server-based play, multiplayer, that kind of thing. But that is pretty much it, guys, as I say. So take care, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.